I'll get this question out of the way, because I feel like since I asked this question, everybody's been anticipating it in one way or another. And I'm just like, oh, maybe I should have asked the last person there so that nobody was. Yeah. But what made you join Miss Universe? Like, what made you want to be a part of this year's competition?
Everything. So basically, everyone says Universe is the ultimate goal for any pageant girl, or most pageant girls. Why would it not be? Do you know what I mean? It's one of the biggest ones. It's got the biggest platform. You can share a message on such a huge huge stage. So it's something that I've always looked at and wanted to do. But I've said to Paula in my interview, in the finalist interview, I said I've just never felt good enough. So I never went for it before. I was always like, oh no, that's not me. Like, I'm not good enough for that, and I'm not good. And it's only the last few years that I've actually realised that, do you know what, I am good enough, and I'm going to give it a go. Because if you don't do it and you don't try, then you never know. So I thought, I'm just going to go for it, because I regret it if I don't, because I've only got 1 or 2 years left. So I'm getting
Don't
old.
age yourself. Don't age yourself.
Getting old.
No, it's so surprising to hear you say that you never felt good enough, because I look at you and you've been in the industry for so long as well, that you're amazing. And I wouldn't think that you actually have the self-doubts to say that you're not good enough for Miss Universe. But that's actually relatable to a lot of people. But why should you win the crown? This was the question I was going to ask, but I was just like, no, that would be mean to ask it first. But why do you deserve to win Miss Universe GB?
I honestly think I do deserve now. A few years ago, if you'd have said that, I'd have been like, I don't deserve it, no way. But now I do deserve it. I've worked hard, I'm passionate, I'm hardworking. I want to share my message about how showing girls how to learn to love themselves, and get across that you don't have to be perfect. You don't have to have this absolute perfect lifestyle. You don't have to have the most money. You don't have to be the most intelligent. You just need to be relatable and have passion and be hardworking. And I feel like you just really have to have passion for the system and passion for what you want to talk about, because then it'll come across, and then you'll have people supporting you then, and you'll hopefully go far. So I believe I should win, because I am relatable. I am confident now. I'm approachable, I think. So I feel like if I was to win, then I feel like people could come up to me and ask me advice or ask me for help, and I feel like people would be able to do that with me.
Yeah. And then one of the things that I think is so important is to be relatable and to show that you've got a message and everything else. But what is your platform, which is different to what we all say, that we support these charities, we want to do this, we want world peace, as all pageant girls say. But what's your platform? What does Joanna stand for?
So I am all about women empowerment, boosting people's confidence. Basically, I work with a charity now that's called Girls Friendly Society, and they've been going since 1875. Wow. So they've been around for a long, long time, and I'm a content creator for them. So I now put together activities and stuff for their groups to do. Basically, at the start of the year, I wanted to get involved with them, to get involved with the group sessions in person, because obviously COVID happened and we couldn't do that. So I thought, right, how can I get involved without having to go to a group? So then it was a bit back and forth between us all, and I was trying to get involved with this charity because I'd read up on it, I'd know what it was all about, and it was something that I believed in, because I am all about, like I say, women empowerment, building girls' confidence from a young age. Because I know when I was younger, I never had that confidence. I never felt like I could, even speaking on here like now, I would never have done this 5-10 years ago. And I want to be able to say to girls, you can do this. Don't be ashamed. Don't be shy. Don't feel like anyone's going to judge you, but just be you. And I feel like I would like to even push that even more. And that's what, you know, my Inner Beauty Instagram is about.
Yeah.
It's about helping people find them self-love tips and find their inner B-U-T. And that's why I called it that, because I was like, it's their inner,
it's the insides that counts.
Inner side, and how they feel about themselves and how they portray themselves is what will come across in the long run. And now I feel like I actually am good enough and I can do this. I feel like it does show. So I just want to teach that to other people.
Yeah, which is amazing. And which leads me to also this question, because with 2020 being the year it has been, like, we didn't even imagine this at the beginning of the year. But social media has become such an important aspect of 2020 in communicating and getting our messages across to people and showing people who we are, because we haven't been able to talk to people at events and things like that. How have you managed to remain authentic in your social media and get your message across, or things like that? And how important is social media to pageantry? I feel like that's two questions. Sorry.
Carry on, but that's okay. We'll go with it. We'll do the two questions.
Yeah.
So I do think social media is really important to pageantry, because it's how you get your message across. Because obviously you can't, in the UK, it's not as big as some countries, but you can't spread your message without being on social media as far, if that's what, if that makes sense. It's helpful to be able to get your message across to other people and to be able to share it as far as you can. And for people that you would not have necessarily met if it wasn't for social media, for them to hear your message as well, and then them to be inspired by it. And I've just remained myself just by being me and doing me on Instagram, not thinking about, oh, I can't post that because of this. And I just post what I want to post because I feel like it might help people, or I want to post that picture because I like it, or I just try to keep my Instagram relatable, if that makes sense.
Yeah, it makes absolute sense, which I feel like one of the things that I've been saying to the other girls that I've been on the lives with, I'm not sure if you've been able to catch it, is I feel like because we haven't been able to meet each other at events and things like that, we've had to use social media a lot more. Should we then put it as a marking criteria going forward? Because I feel like if we don't, it's kind of discounting everything that everyone's done this year online and getting their messages across. But at the same time, how do we integrate that into pageantry? Should we integrate social media into pageantry?
Honestly, yeah, I do think we should, because I feel like most of the work, or at least half of the prep work and the work that you do coming up to a pageant is online and is social media, especially in 2020. So I do think it should be taken into consideration, because if a judge just goes into the day and just sees these girls in front of them, doesn't know what they're doing, they could be like, well, I've been doing this and I've been doing this and I've been doing this, and they haven't. And then that's sort of then they're not going to carry on doing their stuff on social media and promoting the system, promoting what they're passionate about, if they weren't doing it before. So I do feel it should be part of, even if it's just looked at slightly, even if it's just looked at a few days before, I do think it should have some sort of impact in the judging process.
And to be fair, I'm like talking to all of you guys this past week has been like, I do actually think social media should be involved. So I think it's a conversation as us finalists to have with our directors, to be like, this is a suggestion that we think would work, because there's some girls that come into the competition who say they've done loads, but we as contestants know, because we've been following each other and we've been like taking a nosy, and we're like, no, you did not do any of
like,
that.
No,
I think it's a bit important. But one of our next question is, because you haven't been able to actually meet your contestant, as in your fellow contestants and things like that, how have you guys managed to keep in touch and support one another and things like that during 2020?
So obviously I know a few of them. 4, 5 of them that I think I know. I could be wrong, it could be more, it could be less. But we've got a WhatsApp group, so I set that up straight away with all 40 finalists at the time, because in July there was, I think, 42 maybe. So we were all in there and we were chatting quite a lot. And then when we got each other's Instagrams and was following a lot of them on there and following their journeys and trying to interact with many of them, like as many as I can, to really try and get to know them as much as I can before the final, because it's nice to be able to go there and know people and be able to speak to them without having to introduce yourself already, if you know what I mean, because you're competing with them. You want to be able to be, oh hi, nice to finally meet you, and stuff like that. So I do think it's been nice to have the WhatsApp. Now obviously it's smaller because there's only 18, 19 of us competing, but we speak in that quite a bit now over the last week. It's been nice. We've all been giving each other advice. Everyone's been really helpful. What we were talking about before, there was something about, there's fake tanning tips in there, there was like shoe scoring tips in there about the hairspray on the bottom of the shoes. So we've all been giving each other little tips just to like help each other and give each other knowledge that they may not have had before. So
I wish the public could have an eye into these group chats, because we're not catty and we're not mean, and we don't sabotage anybody, and it really is a community of women helping each other out. And I feel like the general public has this perception of what pageantry is, and literally from what you're saying of what the group is like and everything else is the complete opposite. But now knowing connecting with the other girls and things like that, what makes you different from the girls that are competing?
Should be with the tough ones.
I promise the rest will be easier. Sorry.
You know what?
I think these are easier.
As amazing as all them girls are, they've probably got qualities that I've not got. But I know I am hardworking. I don't do things by halves. When I'm getting given a task or when I put my mind to something, I don't give up, and I don't do it half-heartedly, because there's just no point. I always literally put 110, 150, 200% into every single thing that I do. Because I just think, if not, why would I bother if I'm not going to try? So yeah, I'm just passionate, hardworking, and I know what I want, and I work hard to try and get there. So
yeah, I feel like with this question is one of those where I always want to blow my own horn, and as well as be humble about it, to be like, this is how I'm unique in my own way, and this is everything that I've accomplished. Because I feel like we're always like, no, everyone is better than me. Everybody's better than me and things like that. But no, you've achieved so much, and you've been in pageantry for so long now. Do you think that you being an international winner, because you've been Miss Galaxy International, is it Miss or Miss? I think Miss. Sorry, I'm aging you a bit.
Don't put the ears on me yet.
I'm so sorry for that. But having won an international crown, do you think that's a benefit or a hindrance at this moment in time? Because I know so many of you have won national titles that are competing this year. I think there's 5 or 6 of you that have won national titles and competed internationally. But do you think that is a hindrance, or that gives you an extra something for the crown?
Do you know what? It's a complete different ball game. The two completely different competitions. They stand for quite similar things, but I wouldn't say it's a benefit or a hindrance, really. I'd just say I'm being me, and I'm not taking anything and being like, well, I won an international competition, so I'm going to win this one. I never really think like that, because you just never know. I've competed in a pageant before after having another title in the same director and didn't win. So you just never know. And I think as long as yourself and you're being yourself, then you're going to do well. Or you might not, but I don't think previous experience makes a difference, really, because like I say, they're complete different ball games, complete different competitions, completely different girls, completely different judges. So
and I think that's important for other people to also know and to realize that even you guys having won international titles, you don't feel like it makes you any better than any of the contestants, or that it gives you an extra edge, which I think is always important for people to be like, okay, I can also do this, even if I'm competing with people with vast experience from me. It's always nice to know. But okay, so an easier question, because I'm just like, okay, Felicia, you're being harsh here. What's the one thing that you can change about the experience of Miss Universe GB this year? Like, what's the one thing that you wish could have happened or could have been done better?
Probably just the actual event, the stage, because I went last year and saw it and saw how amazing it was, and how much support all the girls had from the audience, and that buzz and the adrenaline. I'm definitely going to miss that, because being on stage is one of my favorite things. It just gives you that rush. Like,
boost.
You'll completely know the feeling. And every time I say this to people, they're like, how do you do it? How do you get up on stage and do it? And I think, I'm like, it's just that rush and the adrenaline and the audience screaming, and it just gives you that excitement to just do it. And that's definitely what I'll miss, not having the audience and not having that proper interaction with people, because obviously we've still got a social distance. We can't see other groups. There's 3 groups of us, so we're all going to be in our own little groups at any one time, and we'll probably only see each other maybe like
in passing,
twice in passing at a push, because we are having to social distance and we are having to stay away from each other. So
oh, but it's nice to know that even though you're not going to get the audience, you've still got the support from your friends, from your family and things like that. And we've also got Lauren in the chat saying we will be cheering from home, cheering from home for you.
I'll probably be able to hear them. I promise. I'll probably be able to hear them.
Oh, I feel like I'm one of those people where whenever my friends are on stage, I shout the most, and on the night, 9 times out of 10 I lose my voice.
Didn't you? I think you actually lost your voice once, didn't you? Yeah.
For
Zara. I remember that.
For Zara, when Zara won, I think I cheered the loudest, and I lost my voice from that night. But it's something different. But it's one of those where I'm curious, as should pageants take this role on next year, because as in doing it socially distanced and no audience and things like that, because I feel like this year we've missed so much. And when Paula announced that there will be a final, I got so excited. Like, even though I can't be there and cheer you guys on and do the normal after party and things like that, should we have pageants doing this next year? Because I feel like we're not going to get back to normal as quickly as we want to, but we can't keep missing out on events just because of Corona.
Yeah, it's hard, because obviously if things do slightly get easier and stuff like that, I definitely think they should go back to the stage. But like you say, it's not looking likely, and we're not sure when that's going to happen. So I think it is a good way, because obviously we're still getting our chance to show the judges who we are and what we want to represent, and have that chance to represent the title we want and represent our country at an international level. So it's a good way for things like that. Like, I would say the big 5 or whatever people like to call them. I think for the ones that have internationals at a specific date, and they're not being pushed back anymore, then they should go ahead like this, because it's worked really well. We've all been really excited. I think when Paula first said to us about it being this way, we were all really positive about it, and we were all just really excited to actually get going and actually have that opportunity to be in with a chance to represent Great Britain.
Yeah, and I'm excited. I think I've been one of those even more excited than you guys, just to have something.
I think like, everyone is the same. So many people have been like, finally something, like, is there a live stream, is there this? And I'm like, don't worry, you'll be able to get it all on the Miss Universe Great Britain Instagram now. Like, you will be able to get some of it on there, so don't worry.
like when Paula announced it, I was just like, thank you, Paula. I accept this as my Christmas present from Pageant Land.
Yeah.
Like it feels like Christmas all wrapped in one, and we're going to have a winner in 2 days. So what has this week of preparation been like for you? Because I know you're also working, but apart from you working, oh my, you're shaking your head like it's been manic.
Honestly, I've just not stopped. So I was doing a bit of Christmas shopping on Monday because I've still not finished that and I've just got no time. Then I've literally been running around packing still because I only started when I got home from work tonight. I'd still not tried on outfits that were delivered like 3 days ago. So I've been still doing that and messing around with all that. I've been working all day till I think on Tuesday I got home at 9:30. And then I just thought I'm just not doing anything tonight because I just need to chill. And then I've just been trying to do all the other stuff around it, like now packing, but that's going to take me forever because I've still not even got halfway. I've got like 3 outfits for each different bit of the day, and I keep thinking I need to just whittle this down because I'll just never choose. I've been obviously practicing speaking, interviews. Chloe's been voice noting in the chat a question for me every morning that I've had to answer, and been like, and then she'd give me a feedback, and then the girls would be like, yeah, but try it like this, and maybe say it with this, and like put a bit more emotion into that word or that. And I'm like, okay girls, thanks. And so like they're helping me with the prep as well, and like the interview side of it, which I absolutely adore them for. So yeah, they're keeping me on my toes.
No, it's to be fair, I'm now slightly anxious on your behalf because you're telling me that you're not yet all the way there.
No, still got a lot of stuff to do tonight. I'm like, right, it's this time. I've still got this, because basically I'm going tomorrow night. So I going straight from work, so I've got to do it all tonight, or get up early in the morning. But I'm not really a morning person that much, so I'd rather stay up late and do it at night than get up early and do it in the morning.
You're like me, and it's literally one of those where I've got work in the morning and I finish at 4 and literally have the rest of the lives to fit in afterwards. And I was just like, girls, what time are you actually leaving to go? like with some of the finalists, I've been like, do you know the time and do you know the date that you're agreeing to do this? Like, I'm starting to get nervous and anxious on your behalf. But it's nice to know that you've got a good support system that's helping you out and things like that. And it sounds like you've got all the support in the world. And thank you for taking time out of your busy day and for me to interrupt you for literally 30 minutes. But what people don't understand is that although we say these lives are for 30 minutes, it's literally an hour in total of prep, like just the getting ready and then to be on the live and then afterwards and to decompress. And I'm just like, guys, it's a lot of work for the girls, so thank you.
It does take a bit. I was like, should I just go on with no makeup? Will that be acceptable?
Trust me,
like, after a week of hard work, I don't think that's acceptable.
To be fair, I have been doing some of the lives with no makeup, and I've just been like, you know what, sometimes
you
Nobody have to roll with it. Have to roll with it. So I wouldn't have minded at all if you had come on without the makeup, but you look beautiful. So yeah, we need to see you at your best.
Yeah, especially this close.
Yeah, but before we end, what's your one life quote that you live by, or something that you tell yourself that gives you a boost to continue and do what you do?
I've got a few actually, because there's a few that I sort of go by, but there's always been one that I've had, and I think it was always in my bios for like every social media I had from being young. I don't know where it came from. I don't know what made it pop into my head one day, but it's watch me, I'll forget it now and I can't remember it. Oh yeah, so they say your life flashes before your eyes before you die, so make it worth watching. That didn't sound as good as it actually said. So it's they say your life flashes before your eyes before you die, make it worth watching, or something like that. It sounds better when it's worded
when
properly,
it's written.
Literally, yeah, but it's actually really good because I just thought, do you know what? That's true. You don't want to rewatch your life and it just be nothing or boring. You want it to be exciting and fun and be like, oh, I remember that. Oh, love that, love that, love that. So
yeah, and I think that is a really good lesson to actually have as a life coach, because 2020, if anything, has taught us, it's that we need to cherish the moments that we have and to be kind to each other and to live our best lives, because you never know what's going to happen. So I actually think that is a really good code to live by. So, but thank you for taking the time, and thank you for letting me quiz you and question you, and you've done brilliantly. So thank you for just being you, and good luck to the finals, because only 2 days and we will have a winner.
I know, it's come around so quick. I'm so excited now. I'm nervous and excited now, so I'm a bit like,
What's your
number?
Thank
you for having me.
What's your number for the voting?
11, which
11.
is quite a nice number. When I saw 11, I was like, oh,
not a bad number at all. So guys, for those who are supporting Joanna, don't forget her number is 11, and make sure that you support all the girls. Follow her, follow us on Pageant Land online as well. We're trying to just build a big community for pageantry as a whole, not just for one system or anything, but for the entire pageant industry in the UK, just to give all of us a boost, because I feel like all the international pageants that pageantries have a big fan base, yet the UK doesn't, but it's something that we can do bit by bit. So thank you for being here, and for us to also show you to Pageant Land. And Pageant Land, this is Joanna.
This is me. Yeah, no, thank you. Honestly, you're doing such an amazing job, and thank you for having all of us on there on this week. Like I said before, you've done amazing with it. You've got so many of us doing that, and even not just the finalists, but past queens and stuff like that. So yeah, you're doing really well, and Pageant Land Online is doing really well, trying to make the UK pageantry scene a lot bigger, because like you say, it's not, and it's such a shame. And I always say to people, I explain about pageants to people, and they're like, oh my god, I didn't realize it was like that. Now I want to go and watch one. And I just think, well, don't judge until you know.
Honestly, don't judge until you've experienced it, because I have met some of the most hardworking girls, intelligent, and girls who are going to change the world one day. And honestly, these lives wouldn't have been anything without you guys agreeing to, when I messaged all of you and started pestering you guys and asking for your true or false. Anyone go on our stories and you can see all of those and see how well you actually know these girls and how well you know your friends. But honestly, it wouldn't have turned out the way that it has without you guys agreeing. Even the past queens that have agreed to come on the lives, because we've got some tomorrow with Grace, and then we've got a special guest on Saturday. Well, 2 special international guests actually on Saturday. So
how exciting!
I know. So we're actually, I'm so excited. We're just finalizing on time for the international winners and things like that. So honestly, none of this would have been happening without you guys telling me yes, because if you had told me no, it wouldn't have happened. So
we wouldn't have done that.
Oh, you could have, because it's busy. You guys literally only had nine days when Paula announced it. So me also asking you guys for a live, it throws additional work. But thank you so much.
Oh, thank you for having me again.
Thank you.